So with losing Jinbei, is Doflamingo fair now? Obviously, going into the bans, a lot of people were talking about Blue Doflamingo and how strong it was and how much it was represented. I think that was a big part of it, right? When a deck is very strong and also just extremely represented, then, you know, obviously a lot of people talk about it as a problem, and it was, right? Thinking about how RP Law going into set 8 in the, you know, over in Japan and etc. Like, everyone at the top tables was playing it. Is the deck fair now without Jinbei? And I think it is. I think a lot of people think it is, right? We've had a while of showing it is doing pretty well in tournaments, but it's not like overly represented, right? Like if you look at a lot of the tournament breakdowns, there's still just a lot of Shanks, Blackbeard, Dofi, Pluffy, a lot of different decks. But I wanted to try out some of these lists. I looked at a few from the different regionals recently, and it seems to be a lot more control. So after playing Boa for a few weeks and enjoying it, I wanted to try Dofi and see how he plays with the more control style. Looking at a few lists, they all seem a little bit similar to this, minus like a +1 or 2. You know, some people run 2 of this, 2 of the pudding, maybe a little bit less here, maybe not 12 2Ks, maybe some different events. I think some people were running 3000 worlds, but a little bit less now, mainly focusing on the Red Rock and the Grav Blade being our events. Obviously, I'm no Dofi pro, but I just want to try out the deck, see how, one, it compares to how it felt to play against Dofi previously, because after the ban list, I haven't seen as much Dofi at like my locals and in the events that I've watched. It's still been there, but not been as represented, right? But before we get into the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and if you want to support me in any way, check out the links in the description. I've got a TCG player affiliate link if you're going to be buying any cards. It just helps support me. I also got a coupon code for Nen Garden Straw Hat Pecan for 5% off on top of their existing sales that they're running, right? So check out all the playmats they have. I personally love and use the Whole Cake Island playmat. It is really nice, very detailed. Check it out. But let's get into it. If you are newer to the game and unfamiliar with Doflamingo, he is Don ×2 when attacking. You rest 1 Don. You reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a 4-cost lower 7 Warlords of the Sea type character, you can play it rested. So you're cheating out a body for 3 Don. You're playing a 4-cost, but we have a lot of great 4-costs. There were so many that were printed, even though he is an OP10 leader, right? It got a lot of support that brought this deck back into the meta in a very strong way. And now I think it's, you know, a lot more balanced, as the Jinbei playing out an additional 4-cost meant for 3 Don. You can play out 2 4-costs. So that's pretty good value early, right? Obviously. But looking at the list, I personally have become less of a fan of running 1-ofs. However, we do run a 4-of stack card for 5, a 4-of stack card for top 3, a 4-of stack card for another top 3, right? And we run a searcher. So definitely a lot of ways that we can look for our 1-ofs, and this 1-of is searchable, right? The only 1-of that isn't is pudding. And, you know, like I said, you can most likely find the pudding with a lot of your stack cards if you're looking for it specifically. But we have a lot of other tools in our toolbox to accomplish our win condition without pudding. But, you know, still a very strong card, and having in the deck still is very nice, because playing against blue, a lot of people play around the pudding anyway, right? So we have 4 Weevil, 4 Perona. Look at top 5, stack it at top or bottom. 1 pudding. Your opponent returns their hand to the deck, shuffles, and draws 5. We got the 2K Croc. On play rested Don, you can return a cost 2 or lower character to the owner's hand. You can bounce back our 1 cost like that, or a blocker. We've got our 7 Warlord Searcher with Sengoku. Jozu, I really like. He is a very good stat line body with a really good effect, getting us a card back to our own hand, like some counter, right? Like a 1 cost to get more value off of it, and taking tempo away from our opponent by bouncing back a 6 cost. I almost said 5 because there's just so many good 5 costs in the meta right now. But yeah, really great card. Gecko Moria, really nice to get value back off of our 2Ks. If we counter out early, we can get it back with Gecko. Mihawk is also another piece that allows us to kind of find what we're looking for. With a Don times 1 when attacking, draw 2, trash 2. You know, with so much of our deck being ways to find what we need, I don't mind so much having these 1-ofs, right? But the Blue Dofy, very nice bit of, I mean, it's our biggest top end for it, right? I think, I don't know if, you know, any decks currently are running the Kaido draw 4, right? But they have in the past. I don't think it's being run right now, but you know, this is our biggest body, being a 7 cost 7k. Jozu's also 7k, but you know, the cost wise, biggest body. On play, return a character with a cost of 7 or less to the owner's hand. Nice to get rid of a Whitebeard, like 7 cost Newgate. I think that would be like the biggest target against this deck, particularly with how many 5Ks and 6Ks we play. It'd be really easy for like a 7-drop Whitebeard to kind of clear board, right? So returning that to hand, you know, meaning that the opponent has to just replay it back out if they want to continue to try clear board. It does help a lot. We got the Bounce Law. On play, return one of your characters to the owner's hand. If we have 7 Warlords typed, return 1 cost 4 lower card to the owner's hand. Really nice early game tempo. We got Buggy, a 2k counter. Look top 3, stack it on the top only. Can't bottom deck the cards. Boa Blocker is really nice. It does the a similar thing, right? It attaches a Don as well, which is very crucial for our curve of using leader ability. And look at the top 3 cards. So again, just another way to find what we need. We got Teach. One of the cards that I thought was possibly going to get hit, or a lot of people did, right? 2 Don, active in main. Place 1 card from your hand to the top of the deck. Attach up to 2 rested Don to one of your leader or characters. Just a really nice value, getting your leader ability off with like what you need. You know, running a few more of the non-4 costs, right? Without Jinbei, you know, we can't just use leader ability blind so much anymore. You still can. You have a lot of choices, right, from the deck, but this just helps. Then we got our events: 3 Red Rock, 2 Grav Blade, 6 Don to bottom deck anything, 7 Don to bottom deck 2 6 cost or lower characters. So yeah, still really strong deck, honestly. I don't think many people thought that the deck was going to go away completely, right? But I think it got hit just enough that it allowed other decks to kind of flourish, right? I think Shanks has been the most represented deck out of the set 10 post-ban meta, and who knows with what EB2 is going to be. A lot of people, you know, talking about whether or not Lucci is going to be able to keep green purple Luffy at bay with removing its characters, right? You know, without Ice Age or Gecko Moria, it's a little bit of a tougher matchup. But yeah, green purple Luffy is still a very, very good deck, and we'll probably see a lot of it in the EBO2 meta. So yeah, definitely shook things up a lot, and that's why I'm checking out the deck now. So let's get into some games, just see how it plays, see how it feels to play after the bans. I know I'm probably a little bit late to this. I think all the Dofy players have done their testing, but this is just for my own personal bit, right? I didn't check out the deck really when it was at its heyday, its prime. So I want to check it out after the ban, see how it is. I think it's still obviously going to be pretty strong. Ooh, we got a smoker. Interesting. Definitely. Ooh, I mean, we are going first. See, I feel like we have the tools to kind of find anything we want, even though this is a very weird hand, and I kind of like playing off of weird hands. Good game. You too. Let's see. I think we'll... So there's the chance that we just find a Teach off of this, but I think Piranha probably be better. Yeah, we'll just draw into a... We'll draw into a lot of counters. So this will be our draw for the turn. This will be our lead ability, and that's the draw from the lead ability. So that seems pretty good. The only way I think the Sengoku would have been better if we found a Teach and we had something we wanted to stack off the Teach. But yeah, all of our 1 costs do give Smoker the ability to use his lead ability, right? He won't be able to hit us this turn, obviously, but definitely we'll see. We have to kind of play a little bit aggressive. Let's see what he lost. The Kuzan and a Sabo. Picked up a Tashigi. Definitely really good card. Let's see. We draw a 2K so we can defend the Weevil. Yeah, he'll be able to become a 7K swing for the turn, right? Hopefully he just doesn't stack all on and swing, right? Because he would be... Okay, just Borsalino. Honestly, I don't think we have to take. Is there a better card that I want, though? I'm going into 5 Dawn, so I can't use lead ability if I just play off the Boa. I don't mind. Okay. Right. Let's see if we find a 2-cost teach. We do not. We do not. But we find a 2K counter, and that's pretty good. Do I just rip it? I mean... Oh, no. I can Perona. Yeah. I guess we'll take out a Mihawk. We'll look for... We have a Grav Blade. So let's push some of these events a little bit further down. So we'll swing 6 and then 7. Get out a Mihawk. So yeah, I think maybe just unfortunate that he didn't get like a Brook or something. He could have made Perona a 0 cost with lead ability and then buffed, right? And then played Brook out, popped the Perona, and then swung 7K into our Weevil, which would have made us use a 2K, which we did have, but, you know. I guess his aim is he can clear one body with the Tashigi and then swing into the Mihawk, but we're able to protect that, right? Or he just plays a Rebecca. Fair enough, playing a little bit more defensive. Kobe, okay. What does he pop? A 3 or less. Okay, oh no, he could have popped the Mihawk. Right, if he attached a Dawn onto his leader. So that's unfortunate, but you know. He can still swing 7-8 into Mihawk, which does require all the counter we have. So, oh, at us. I still think I can just counter out because I can play out a Boa blocker next turn. And we got Jozu. Yeah, I think we'll Boa blocker. Let's see what we get off the top. We could also bottom deck both of his blockers, but we'll see what we get off of that. A Croc. Still, yeah. Oh, yeah, we knew we had that, yeah. So we'll start putting it at the top. Attach a Dawn there. Unfortunately, I have to swing 7 for... Because I would like to cycle with Mihawk, honestly, but I'll do that after leader ability, I guess. I can still swing 6 here first. And then I just have to swing 7, then 6. Because I don't think I need all of these events. So we'll swing... Crashing over the Perona. I could get back the Perona, actually, but... We get out a block. And then we'll draw. Trashing... he doesn't have... He trashed a Kaido, and he has a Sabo and trash, so... I think we'll get rid of... Maybe just 1 and 1. Maybe just 1 and 1. Just off the off chance that he plays out a big body on 8 Dawn. He could play out like a Sabo, which would be nice to get rid of. But we don't have a lot of counter. We have a blocker, but we don't really... No, because if he does play out the Sabo, then he can only swing 6 or 5, and we can block out with the 6K. And then if he swings 5, which I don't think he would rest his blocker, then we have 1K to counter out of. So definitely, you know, coming back from having not a lot of counter in hand. We still don't. but we have a very aggressive board that he's kind of forced to deal with. And Dofi still gets to a point where you're just playing out enough bodies per turn that if you're just swinging at board, you know. Okay, he does become a 7k swing. Yeah, but the fact that is 7 Dawn and we have all of this out, yeah, we'll just let that go. Because I can't save it unless I block. It would be nice to get another cycle off of the Mihawk. But next turn, we don't have... Okay, Tashigi comes out. Gets rid of my blocker. Okay, okay. I think we'll maybe just Grav Blade. We won't be able to use leader ability, but we'll be able to get rid of his blocker and then his Tashigi, I guess. Well, this pops a 5? Trashes. Costs 0 characters, right? And then it on play minuses by 4. So yeah, it gets rid of a 5. So if I do Jozu it back to hand. Well, I'm gonna use my Jozu to protect here. Yeah. Okay, that actually, it doesn't help us. We would have needed this earlier, but you know, is what it is. Do I need to Grav Blade then? I could use this to refill my entire board essentially. I could play out a blocker or just a Weevil. I think I want to get rid of his threats because then that just leaves me with still, you know, 3 swings at 2 life, 6 in hand. I think that'd be pretty good. Maybe we can just establish the teach. So we'll swing 5. This would have been a 5 anyway. I'm not really too worried about the Kobe, even if he clears. You know, he has to attach a Dawn to clear with this. And then if I do play out the teach, he kind of has to target it. We'll swing 6. And do I do just a swing 7? I think that's fair. Just a swing 7 and still establish this. Because he took the 6. I probably would have countered out knowing that I have 2 Dawn left. Yeah, I don't think he has a lot of counter. So I think we're still in a pretty good spot. Even though we don't have any counter ourselves. The fact that Teach makes our... every play we do just a little bit more Dawn efficient, attaching 2 Rested Dawn. Obviously, we didn't have like the best hand starting off with you know, a couple of bricks. But... it allowed us to kind of search and stack what we needed to get it done. Again, not saying that I'm any Dofi pro, but just saying that like deck is still pretty strong. I wonder if most people playing Dofi will switch over to green purple, being a pretty good mid game, like mid range aggro type of deck, right? Planning out a lot of things that are 5 cost, 6 cost and less, and just punching face. But I feel like Dofi right now has become a lot different. Honestly, if he just has 4 down for a blocker, we could just red rocket and then just swing. Oh, he doesn't even have a block. That's unfortunate. Yeah. There was world. Yeah. GG. Yeah. GG. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Ooh, yeah. Didn't have a blocker, which, you know, that sucks. I think there's a world if he had like a Rebecca blocker to get back like a 2k or something. Maybe he could have survived another turn, but we were still at 4 life. We got Purple-Black Luffy. I do wonder how the Teach matchup is going with this deck, as I think a lot of people are running less of the 6 cost event, which was kind of put into... we're going second. I think we're a mulligan for that. Okay, we do get the Teach. That definitely feels good. A lot of people are putting in the 6 cost event, obviously for Blue Doflamingo, but I guess you don't really need to anymore with more or less the Shanks being the more popular deck. I think we'll take this. Sure. Okay. I think we'll just play out. We can play out another Teach just to bounce back with the Law, so that we keep both this Teach and our Law on board, if that makes sense. So we can play out this, go here, put that on the top, stack here, swing 8, use this, deploy, bounce back, bounce back. Gotta remember he plus 1s to the cost. But now, even if he plays that back out, right, it's a thing of removing swings. And he takes the 8. So hopefully, I mean, we have a lot of counter to save this Law. Frankie. So we wouldn't be able to bounce that back with a Law, only like a Jozu or something like that. Trashes the Zoro. Okay. I think we can counter out here because we can just we can play out the Gecko to get one of these back, right? So we'll go here, 2 2s. Next turn we can apply a lot of pressure. We can get our Gecko to get us that back. We can even play out 2 bodies, right? Because of the Teach. So we'll see what we top deck. We got a Boa. That makes it even better, honestly. Let's see what we get from the Boa. We got a Gecko, so we don't even need to use ability, because then we can get the free draw from our deck, not taking anything out from our hand. But that would make our swings a lot higher. But I think I'd rather keep more cards in my hand right now. Especially because we're going to get a 2k back and most likely either get a block or, you know, we'll take back our Croc. Yep, okay, so he just blocks out. We could swing another 5, but again, like to keep the hand size up. If he plays out like a Sanji Rush. Oh, he plays out the God's Thread. The God Thread. I think a lot of people are putting this card in. Oh, he's running Senior Pink too. Yeah, I mean, the God Thread is a really nice card, right? Just 6 will counter 2, and then that's not any hand information, right? I think we'll play back a Gecko just to kind of keep our hand size up again. We'll take back the Boa. We'll use leader ability, put the Boa at the top, put the air 2, so we have 3 down to work with, so we can go 6 7 7 and then play out 2 more bodies, which is nice. Yeah, some strong purple support that I think people are starting to put into more decks, right, as the set goes on. Okay, fair enough, I guess. He did have counter and he could have blocked out, but I think it was kind of starting to snowball for sure. He didn't seem to have much top end. Oh, he's running the 8-drop Dofi coming up. He would have been able to, you know, put out 2. I do like the idea of putting this stuff in a deck like this, right? I don't know. The Rosinante was conditional for me when I was playing in Robin, but I don't know. Luffy seems pretty good with the package, right? You get to use more of the KO events and stuff like that, so you get more value from like the Senior Pink and such. But yeah, I guess if he saw that Dofi was coming up, maybe he would have had a chance to come back, establishing a 8-9, having Giant, and he could have had Nora being activated too, right? He would have had Don up, and if he had Rosie on board, or if just on 10 Don, he just leaves 2 Don open after playing, you know, but GG. We got Luffy, but he's choosing order. I do believe before ban, this matchup was very dice roll dependent. I think we'll keep because we have the Teach, I guess. And Weevil, really good card to keep our hand size open. Up. Oh, not open. Up. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. All this talk of testing out and everything. I just like because Dofi's a cool character. Is it a crime to say that? I mean, I don't even need to play out the Teach. I could play out the Sengoku now. Because playing out Teach on 4 Dawn. Right? Yeah, I think I'll just do that. Ooh, a lot of good choices here. I think Bounce Law, really nice. We could pick up a 2K, but we already have a couple 2Ks. So I think, but also Gecko. Now we'll pick up Bounce Law. You know, I think we'll still probably Teach Weevil next turn. Right? But ramps. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of content creators out there that play like only like top meta decks, and I think that's absolutely fine. Like I'm not anyone who like hates on meta for the sake of it being good, right? I don't care. Play whatever you want, right? But for the sake of like content on the channel, I've always liked doing a bit of the off meta stuff just because it's like it's, you know, stuff you don't always see, you know, so that's why I didn't really put out too much Dofi content. In terms of me playing it, you know, I put out some videos of playing against it, kind of strategizing against it for like tier 2 stuff. You know, I did play a lot of Bonnie back in like 8.5 and such. I think it's a 2K, 5 at us. I don't really want to let this go through, but I also don't want to. I guess I can 2K. Because all the swings are going to get progressively higher with this. So we can bounce back that Zoro. But then he could just play it off of a Luffy Taro next turn too. But then that means he's not playing out Sangoro. Ooh. I think we will. Because then we can also play out the Sengoku again. Yeah. Yeah. Boom, bam. Sengoku back that guy. I'm so used to playing Boa that I'm like, where's my draw option? I'm at 5 cards. Boom. Let's see, what do we pick up here? Probably a 2K. Probably a 2K. Boa is also pretty good. Another 6K, but you know. Yeah, I think I'll pick up a 2K. Just in case he swings here for like 5. If he plays out a 7 cost. But yeah, having Teach out really, really good. As it makes using Grav Blade a lot better on curve. He doesn't have a 7-drop Luffy Taro, which is unfortunate for him. I don't think I'm going to save the Law. Because it seems like he just is going to replay out a 4. Oh yeah, that is unfortunate. I think I can play out 2 cards. So I kind of want to see what I get off of the Weevil. Right? We get a Law. So that's crazy, actually. That's actually crazy. So we get to do the same playing out the Sengoku again. That is utterly mean. That's like the thing of decks that can get multiple uses off of the same searcher, right? Like any blue deck. I think we'll pick up Gecko Moria. Because we already have some 2Ks. And then that can get us back our Law or 2K. Right? Like any blue deck that runs the 7 Warlords package or stuff like green yellow Law that are able to recur value off of their searchers, I think it's really fun, you know, to see over the course of a game. Like I use this singular searcher like 3 times. That's kind of crazy. It is just, I think, really unfortunate that he hasn't seen a 7-drop Luffy Taro. But also Pluffy, a deck that I think is going to be pretty good in EBO 2. I just wonder what the meta is going to shape up to be. What do you guys' opinion on that? Going into EBO 2. Oh, this is going to be a big swing. I think I can and should save at this point because I have a Gecko to recur some of this from trash. Right? And obviously he's a little bit afraid of the pressure because he's leaving up 1 for Gum Gum. At only 8 Don, so that would put him back pretty far. I could Grav Blade play out Gecko this turn, or I could play out 2 bodies. I think getting rid of the Sanji, because he seems like he's at a bad spot hand-wise because he didn't play out a 7 cost. So we're going to go just a 5, 6, and then 7 with leader, as we'll have 1 Dawn open after Grav Blade, and then we can use 2 for that. Like, that's why this card just is so much value right off of a 2-cost teach. But luckily for the blue yellow Nami players, they didn't ban this, because I think that deck runs it, right? Being that it's a blue deck that you kind of need Dawn on your leader at every point. So we're gonna put that there, attach 2, swing this, put that. I guess we'll get back a 2K or Law. I think we'll get back Law because we can get back Sengoku. Find us more 2Ks, you know, rather than just countering out. But, you know, at this point, we're still at 5. And we have 3 swingable bodies? 3 threats on the board, I guess. But yeah, also let me know what decks you're actually excited about for EBO2. I'm so excited for Odin, for Zoro Sanji still. Arlong even, you know, there's so much support for that. I know everyone's talking about the meta, and it is very interesting to look at meta, even if you're not somebody that plays those decks, because it's different, right? It's finally a point where it's different, because of the bans occurring earlier than in the East, right? Ours happened simultaneously, so our metas are just different. Leaving up 2 Gum-Gums? This is unfortunate, because we're going to just bottom deck both of those blockers. Oh no, he's searching. Okay, fair. Picks up a Usohachi 2K counter. See, I think this definitely would have been a lot different if he saw his 7 costs, right? That's obvious. But, you know, I think this is just unfortunate. We'll swing 5 first. Do we need to use leader ability? Like, guarantee it? I think we're just so ahead that we don't even need to use teach to put us down, but we can. Yeah, we can. So that's, yeah, I should have swung a little bit higher, but we'll just get him to use Gum Giant, I guess, on the 7. Or it is 2Ks, okay. But this swing will actually be higher, because 8, 9. So we'll have to. We'll pick up a 2K. Sure, for our next turn, and then attach there. So now we've made a 9K swing. So if he Gums, he still has to give an additional card. So maybe that is, you know, fair enough. We got a lot of counter out of his hand. Now we're both a little bit low on resources. Or he just uses... Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, obviously, if he got his Luffy Taros, this would be a much different match. We wouldn't have our board so much. But... the Sanji, okay, so he could clear out 2 bodies, right, for sure. He could also get rid of our teach. Oh no, he's a 3K, forget. So he'll have to attach a Dawn there at least if he wants. But if we're able to save 1, we should just be able to go for game, right? So even if it was like an uneven match, we'll lose that, yeah, for sure. So they're all like showings of how Dopey still floods board, right? Teach is still a very good component for that, but, you know, Jinbei obviously allowing him to do it so much earlier was a problem. I think we just save and just go for a game, right? Without any... We'll just swing 7s, 1 card in hand, no Dawn open. We'll go 7 again. But that's also kind of why I just never played the deck GG for like locals or much stuff, because I don't know, Dofi was really strong back before the bans. And also the games took forever. I'll be honest, that was a big thing of why I didn't play it. I know people say that Bonnie games take a long time because of like the resting, the control and stuff, but I don't know. I always finished my games before Dofi players. They, and you know, for good reason, they recur a lot of value, and that's fair. That's what their deck does, right? But you know, the games lasted a very long time, especially mirror matches. That's always a big part. You know, those mirror matches took forever. We got Blackbeard. All right, let's see. Perona. So I guess we can just find whatever we want. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's really good, I'd say. We don't even need the leader ability, or no, like teach, right? We can just cheat out a body, which is cool. You get stage, so no doc Q. 10 cost, okay. Definitely valuing probably counter or removal over it. We'll see. Picks up, okay, the feet. Sure. And then I don't assume he would turn off my lead ability this early, or not my leader, my on plays this early, right? I don't know. I don't think he would want to trash cards when you only have 4 in hand. He does. That's interesting. I don't think you would want to, because I still get to play stuff out for free. And that just means to most likely, you know, take the next few swings, right? And losing the Van Augur, that would help remove if he had Doc Q. I feel like you would want Van Augur out with Doc Q for this matchup, unless you are running like the 6 cost event, but still. For Dawn, CB plays out the Shiryu. That, actually no, does that remove a 4 cost or a 3 cost? I can't remember. I think it's a 3 cost. I don't remember. Next turn we can play out a couple things. I don't know if we want to use the teach is definitely really good. I think we want to put him out. He does pick up Doc Q. Yep. Goodbye, Perona. So if he searches, then he has to I have to swing with this, right? Vasco shot, so no search, just 5 at us. Honestly, I'm gonna take, I like big hand size against this, right? That's kind of no on plays, fair enough. I don't think I need them right now. I think we'll just play out teach because we don't have lead ability, right? Like I can't remember what I put in hand, but I don't think it was anything good. So we'll just swing 7 and 7. Well, I have to swing 7 here first. I know there was some Red Rock and a Sengoku. So I don't think there was. It might have been set up for it, but blocks out. Goes 7. You have Red Rock and Sengoku. Honestly, we'll trash Sengoku for sure. And I think Jozu, because we'd rather just play out 2 of our 5k bodies. Here was already down to 3 life. Gets a search. Not the worst trigger he could have got out of life for sure. Could have been like I bid to KO one of our bodies or a finger pistol. He gets a Vasco shot. Yeah, just having one of these in our back pocket is really nice. If he does manage to get out of 10 cost, I think that's like we'll probably have 3 bodies out by then. Hopefully, he's at 6 Dawn. He can't use the event either, right? Because you have to have 2 more bodies than him. But he can, yep, Van Augur, Doc Q something. So maybe I should have swung into the Doc Q, but fair enough. We can save our Gecko and just play out 2 things. Get rid of his Van Augur, I guess. As long as he doesn't have a Van Augur, we know he had 1 in trash, right? He does search. Finally. So I don't know if I want to let my Teach go sideways, but I do want to remove his stuff. He gets a Burgess. And then 5 here will counter 1. Honestly, we could just ignore his board for some part of it. I don't know. If we had more bodies out, Then he gets a 2k counter. So we have a 2k counter and a Burgess in hand. He trashed the Vasco shot that he picked up. 5 at us. 5 at us. We don't need to, but again, Jozu. It's not bad. Honestly, having a 6 cost 7k could really help. Even though I just said that I'd rather play out 2 bodies, but since we have the Teach out, we can also play out like 4 costs and a, you know, doesn't matter. Well, not on 7 Dawn, but you know, later, of course. See, we know he has a 2k and a 1k in there. I want to get rid of these 2 at least. Well, maybe the Van Augur for sure, but that's a higher swing. If I play out a 4 cost, I have 3 Dawn left. I could probably bully his board. It doesn't really matter what one I play out. I do kind of want to swing here. Just to make my play a little bit more efficient. If he swings here back, that's fine, I guess. He's going to be at 8 Dawn. If I remove the Doc Q, that means I just swing higher. I can play out a Buggy too. Like any swing is good, right? The weenies are good into Blackbeard. If I move Doc Q, then I play out this. Still play out another character. Or I could just use loot ability without using Teach, but I'd rather play something else out if I could. But I think I'd rather get rid of the Van Augur, because if I get rid of the Doc Q, then he can still swing with the Van Augur, if anything. And this gets his 2k out of hand, right? We'll put there, boom. And I don't think he has a 2k. I know he has a Burgess. Okay, he drew, but that's fine. His hand is very low because he's been using leader ability very, very early. And now he uses the 6 cost event. Fair. Or no, he pitched it. He pitched it. So does he have another? 2 more characters. He could get rid of 2 things, yeah. Next turn, we could just Jozu play out a 4 cost with Teach if that survives. If not, then, you know, Kuzan. Okay. Yeah, but if he used the event and he doesn't have a Vasco shot, then we still have like 3 swings coming at him. You know, he's got another Van Augur. I mean, the deck is super consistent, so he's always going to find the pieces he needs, right? I think that's better than him using the event, because now he has a 1k less out of hand. We can just kind of start pressuring his life now, because if he just removes 1 body with this 2 combo and keeps up for a 10 drop, he turns off 2 bodies. Let's see if he swings at the Teach. If he goes at one of our bodies, we'll 2k. Yeah, we'll 2k. And next turn, just pressure his life a lot. Because following turn, if he just 10 drops, which I don't think he would. I don't know. Yeah, we can just play out Jozu. Let's swing a lot of his life with these 5Ks. Okay, so we Jozu. We can go 7 and 7. We're gonna go on 6 and yeah, 6, 6, 7. That actually would have been much better, given that I don't think he has a lot of 2Ks. But you know, put this there. Boom, boom, boom. Get him down to 1 life. So next turn, if he plays out 10 cost, freezes Jozu, pops one of our 4 costs. He swings 5 here. We counter out, and then we red rock his 10 cost, and then we have 3 swings left, 4 swings with Teach, right? Using that to attach to Don. You know, we're in a good spot. I don't even know if he has the 10 drop. Like, if he 10 drops, I think we win. If he doesn't, we're still in a really good spot, because then we'll have Jozu up. You know, he can't remove it with this combo, because that only gets rid of a 4 cost, right? Yeah, he picked up the Teach, so it looks like he's going to use it. That means we'll have 4 swings to get through 1 life. And I'm assuming he'll turn off lead ability. So I'll leave him 3 cards in hand. Yep, pitching. Oh no, he's using this. Oh, okay. So no leader ability, or no, no Teach. Honestly, we might just get there with 3 swings then, because he uses this to get rid of another. No, we only have 2 swings then, but we still probably get there. He picked up a brick, right? He picked up the 10 cost, unless he uses 4 Don to remove. I don't know. Yep. So if he swings 9 here, we still have 2 swings and we just win. Oh no. Yeah, no. I think we got it, right? I guess he was banking that he would have another turn, because Ryuma actually does set him up for a win condition here. But now we just go 11. I think we got it, because we know it has a dead card. Yeah, so we should have it for sure. Yeah, GG. Yeah, still, I don't know if a lot of decks are still running this, but still pretty good card for the matchup, it seems. But yeah, it definitely seems like a more fair deck, I'd say. I don't know. Even with all the stack and such, this didn't really come up at all. I definitely think maybe try like 2 copies. I do like the idea of being a mix of more control, right? Like losing a bit of that aggression, but picking up some more control aspect of it seems more fun for me, I guess. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of Dofi after the ban. Is he still too strong? I don't think the tournaments have really shown that. I think he's a lot more balanced. And also, what are you guys' thoughts on EBO2 with the ban list? Are you excited for it more, knowing that we have less of the same? But like, even without the bans, I think a lot of people were still on just green Purple Luffy. So obviously, that deck isn't affected by it. So yeah, let me know what you think you're going to be playing going into EBO2. Any thoughts on Dofi, the bans as a whole? Let me know down in the comments. Of course, leave a like, subscribe, and hope to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.